Now we will discuss dynamic testing. Guys, dynamic testing is of three types: black box, gray box, and white box. Black box is done by testers, someone who have no coding knowledge. Gray box is executed by someone who has knowledge of both development and testing, so who have testing plus some coding expertise. White box testing is done by developers who have expertise in coding. So guys, we can clearly understand we fall under black box testing. So we're going to understand black box testing now. So guys, black box testing is of two types: functional testing and non-functional testing. What is functional testing? It is done to check or validate functionality of an application. Yes, so let's say you're checking functionality of each and every object, functionality of an object, whether it is meeting the client's requirement or not. This comes under functional testing. I'll give you one example. Let's say we are testing login module in which we have fields like username, password, and login button. If you are checking whether the username is accepting input data according to client's requirement or not, that is functional testing. Let's talk about the non-functional testing also, so that in comparison we understand more clearly. So non-functional testing is, it is done to check overall performance of an application if subjected to undesirable condition. Now I'll give you the example. So I'm going to refer my prior example only. So let's say we are working on a login module in which we have username and password field and we have login button. Client has given me the requirement the username should accept 4 to 10 characters. Now I am checking username field according to the client's requirement. What if it accept 4 to 10? Good. But if it accept less than 4 or maybe more than 10, so I'm testing a particular functionality of an application. That comes under functional testing. But if I'm testing overall performance of my application, if subjected to undesirable condition, that comes under non-functional testing. For example, let's say client has said that this particular application can hold only 100 users at a time. But let's say 110 user logged in on the application simultaneously. Now, how my application is performing, how the performance of application is. In this, I'm not checking the particular functionality. I'm checking overall performance of an application if it is subjected to undesirable conditions. Number of users. So if the number of users are more than expected, then how the performance is. Whether it is taking time to load or maybe it is getting crashed. What is happening with my overall application? I'm not checking a single functionality in this. I'm checking overall application's performance. Now we'll discuss functional testing in more detail. First is unit testing. Testing an individual unit or module of the software. So guys, if you're checking single module of a software, that comes under unit testing. For example, let's say I have an online banking website in which I have login module, I have saving module, I have checking module, I have logout module. So I'm testing only login module right now. So that is unit testing. Integration testing. Now integration testing is different. Testing multiple individual units of software and test them as a group to make sure they interact appropriately. So in unit testing, I was testing a single module, but in integration testing, I will test if all these single modules, if I integrate or group them together, how they're going to perform, whether they are meeting client's requirement or not. For example, if let's say saving account was working fine individually, checking account is working fine individually. So I'm talking about these two modules. So let's say saving and checking module is working fine when I'm doing a unit testing on it. But when I've integrated them together, they are not functioning fine. So that means I have not performed integration testing on it properly. So integration testing is to test if I have integrated checking and saving account together, whether they are meeting the client's requirement or not. So next is positive testing. So positive testing is testing an application with valid data. So valid data means data which is provided by the client. So let's say if client is saying, so username should accept 4 to 10 characters, then I know my valid data is something between 4 to 10. So if I'm testing with that data, it is positive testing. But negative testing means testing application with invalid data. So if I'm not testing it with 4 to 10 characters, I'm testing it with maybe less than 4 characters or more than 10 characters, that falls under negative testing. Smoke testing. Testing the major functionalities of the software in a non-comprehensive manner to ensure the software works well is called smoke testing. So guys, just to make sure that all the major functionalities of an application is working fine. It's called smoke testing. It is mainly performed by someone who have expertise in testing, maybe senior tester or testing lead, because it is very important testing. I'll let you know why it is that important, because in this we are checking the major functionalities. So let's say if the timeline has reached and I have to release the application, so I'll be releasing it with the minor defects because I've already taken care of the major functionalities. So retesting. Testing previously found defects again is called retesting. Let's say guys, you're working on a module called Login 1.0. You tested it and you find 5 defects in it. You reported those 5 defects to developer. Developer claimed that he fixed it, but you have to check it again. So checking those previously defects again is called retesting. Test that code changes do not have a negative effect on the functionality of a software. So guys, I'm going to elaborate this with comparison of retesting. So in retesting, as I've told you, I'm testing the previously found defects. Let's say when I tested the previously found defects, I found that all the defects are fixed. What do you think? I can tell that this particular module is now working fine because all the 5 defects have been fixed? No, I have to check entire module again, because who knows, when developer was fixing all those 5 defects, maybe he broke something else. Those test cases which was previously passed, maybe they fail now. Maybe he broke something. There might be a negative impact of fixing the previous defects. So regression testing is to test the entire module again, just to make sure that while fixing previous defects, developer has not broken something else. Accessibility testing. It measures how well system can serve people with disabilities, how this application can work well with people with special needs. Exploratory testing. Directed from requirements and exploring during testing, and test cases are determined during testing. So guys, exploratory testing is mostly when you don't have a clear set of requirements prior to the testing. So you're just exploring the software, and out of your expertise, you are finding out the test cases and the requirements. GUI testing. Checks the graphical user interface of application under test and to ensure UI functionality work as per the specifications. Guys, graphical user interface is very important part, because that's how user interact with the application. So whether the graphical interface is matching the specification of client or not. Let's say in an application, username is not that much visible, or maybe it is not looking as expected. So you are checking all the graphical user interface functionalities in this case. Ad hoc testing. Ad hoc testing is the most informal testing which is done without test cases. So randomly out of the expertise, senior tester or test lead will test the application without the test cases. So randomly he will, out of the expertise, we understand this particular module should behave like that. Without the test cases, we'll go and we'll check the module or we'll check the application. Backend testing. Whenever an input or data is entered on front-end application, it gets stored in the database, and the testing of such database is known as database testing. You understand that every front end has back end. If you're entering some data in the front end to check whether it is meeting the client's requirement or not, it is your job to check whether it is getting stored in the database or not. So in order to check that, we perform the database testing. So for that, we can use different databases like SQL Server, Oracle, and language we use for it is SQL. System testing. To test entire system as per the requirements of client is called system testing. So you did unit testing, you did integration testing, but if you are testing entire system just to make sure it is meeting the client's requirement or not, is called system testing. Alpha testing. The first testing of a product in a production environment before going live. So let's say guys, we are done with the testing, we think everything is fine. Now we're going to distribute this software to other people in an organization just to make sure that before going live, we are not left with any defects. That's the testing we do before going live. Acceptance testing. The test performed by end users to approve the system. Acceptance testing is sometimes done by the client side or maybe the end users. Just to make sure it is meeting their requirements or not. So they approve the system. So this testing is done by real-time data and real scenarios. Beta testing is done when the project is live, and it is done by the people who are supposed to use this application. Risk-based testing. Testing of highly critical functionality which has the highest impact on business and in which the probability of failure is very high. Risk-based testing is to find out the risk in the application, which functionalities are the most important functionalities and we cannot afford it to get failed. For example, if I talk about online banking, login is the most important module because we can have more security risk over there. So to check highly critical functionalities like login for online banking, which has highest impact on business and in which probability of failure is very high. So recovery testing determines if the system is able to continue the operation after a disaster. It's very important. Let's say we have a downtime, so system got crashed, then how long it takes to recover back. End-to-end testing involves testing of complete application environment in a situation that mimics real world. So in this you are testing the application's environment, whether it is able to handle the real-time pressure or real-time scenarios or not. Non-functional testing, as I've told you guys, non-functional testing is to check overall performance of an application. Now you're not dealing with the functionalities, you are testing overall performance of an application. So first is performance testing. So as I've told you, that's what non-functional testing is. So non-functional testing is also known as performance testing. It is testing overall performance of an application, that how the application is performing overall. The response time is okay, it's not taking time to load, it's not getting crashed if it is subjected to any undesirable conditions. So that comes under performance testing. Compatibility testing. Testing to check whether software is capable of running on different hardwares, operating systems, applications, network environments or mobile devices. So guys, compatibility, as the name suggests, so you're checking whether the application is compatible with any sort of hardware, with any sort of operating system or browsers or network environments or maybe mobile devices. Have you seen that sometime application is working fine on Google Chrome but it's not looking same on Internet Explorer? That means that application has not been tested for compatibility with respect to browsers. Same goes for Mac or Windows, that is operating systems. So testing an application with respect to all different platforms is called compatibility testing. Load testing, to check whether the system can sustain the pressure or load of many users accessing the application at a time. So let's say client had said that, I want your company to make an application in which maybe 100 users can log in at the same time. So I'm checking whether the system can sustain the pressure or load of many users accessing the application at the same time or not. So we will create a virtual users with the help of load runner script, and those virtual users will log in simultaneously in the application, and we make sure now the application is performing according to client's requirement. It should not take more time to get load, it should not get crashed. All these things are checked in load testing. Volume testing, to check the storage requirements and capabilities of application. Just to make sure that this storage, maybe client has told my application should be able to handle 100 GB of data. Now I have to make sure that when I put 100 GB of data in the database, whether it is performing fine or not. Sometimes application get crashed if you put more data in it. So just to make sure that by putting that much of data or volume, it's not getting crashed. Stress testing. Stress testing is conducted where the load which is generated is more than the application can manage. Evaluation methods in critical situations. So guys, in this case, we check if we put more than expected load, that means more than expected users on the application. So now, as the name suggests, my system gonna be under stress. Now how my application is performing when there is more than expected load. Failover testing, to check how redundancy mechanism works when the system encounters heavy load or unexpected failure. So guys, this is actually very important because in failover you check that if system is getting failed, how soon the different resources will come to tackle the situation and how soon the backup will be performed. So that comes under failover testing. Security testing, to test how well the application can preserve itself and the data it holds in situation of malicious attacks. Guys, security testing, as you can understand, how robust the application is, how secure the application is. I'm again referring to the online banking's login module because that requires security. How much secure your login information is. That all comes under security testing, that there should not be any malicious attack on it. How my application can preserve itself if there is any malicious attack. Usability testing, to verify the ease of usage of an interface within an application. So, how easy it is to use the application, how easy it is for the user to navigate it, that comes under usability testing. Scalability testing, check the ability of an application to increase and scale up on any of its non-functionality requirements such as load, number of transactions, number of servers, volume of data. Guys, as the name suggests, scalability, how scalable it is means if now client has changed the requirement and client said, okay, previously I said 100 users, now I want to say 200 users. Now how my application can adjust to it? So that comes under scalability testing. So whether my application is scalable enough to accommodate all these changes. That's all for the types of testing, guys. Thank you so much.